What's going on, partners? Today we're going to talk about cups, but not just any cups. We're going to be talking about prison cups. Now, before I get started, I'm going to play this video. This is from E.I The King, and he's going to explain the relationship and bond that he has with his cup. Here it is.
Chain Gang coffee cup. I've had this cup for over 7 years and I will never get rid of it. Even when I was getting transferred from prison to prison with the weight of my property on top of my coffee cup because it ended at the bottom of my canteen bag, it got crushed. But I still used to drink out of it and I used to only fill up like coffee and water up to here and just sip on it. And the reason why I kept it, held on to it is because it's sentimental. It's because I've had it for so many years, and my dog who ran Tattoo Ink on my coffee cup, this is do it to me out of friendship. I've always kept it. But even when I get out, I'm gonna keep it. And I'm gonna put it up in my kitchen to where I can see it every day, every morning when I wake up. And the reason why is because it's a reminder to me where God brought me from and what he brought me through. So that coffee cup for me is a memorial stone. It's an object in my life that brings me to a place of praise, thanking the Lord of what he brought me through and how he delivered me through a very rough time and season of my life, and not only carried me, but where he shaped me and built me as a man and as a valiant warrior and strong soldier for Christ. So I ask you today, man, what are some memorial stones? What are some objects or some sentimental things that you can hold on to and not just prize the possession of it, but to where that object will have you to remember what God's done in your life. But don't just have that object to remember what God's done, but may it lead you further on in faith, knowing that if God delivered me then, the opposition that I may face today or in the future, he's going to bring me through just the same, like he did then. It's your boy E.I The King. Stay committed.
All right, pretty interesting, right? He is keeping his cup as a momentum, an object that's going to remind him of the time that he spent in prison. Now, when you get booked into prison, everything that you own gets taken away. The clothes that you have on are not your clothes. Everything gets stripped away. And as you're going through the booking process, you're not going to have a cup that's given to you right away. You might go a day or two without a cup, without a utensil, without a blanket. You might even be allowed to keep the clothes that you came in on for a couple of hours while they book you in and get you changed out. Now think about this. What if you just got booked in and you ran from the cops? You tired, you're thirsty, you just want some water, but you don't have a cup. Maybe you got arrested for DUI and now you're coming back and you are dehydrated as hell and you just want some water, but you do not have a cup. Maybe you were smoking a little bit of weed and you get that, what do they call it, cotton mouth. And your mouth is really dry, you're really thirsty, you want some water, but you don't have a cup. Have you ever needed a cup, needed a spoon, needed a plate, and not have one? You ever go camping and you think you have everything, but maybe you forgot the cups? It makes it a lot harder to do things when you don't have the proper tools or the proper equipment, right? So if you're just missing one little thing, imagine everything being stripped away from you. You have nothing. The first thing you're going to get is a cup and spoon. You're starting from the bottom. You have nothing. You might go to jail for a prolonged amount of time and you have no assets. And you get issued cup and spoon, towel and linen. And that's going to be the first property that you're going to be owning. And you got to hold on to them. Because if you lose them, you're probably not going to get another one, or you're probably going to get written up. In many places, if you lose a cup, if you look at a spoon, you lose your ID, you're going to get some type of discipline for it. Okay. Now, when you're getting booked in, where I didn't have a styrofoam cup, so I'm just using this red cup. The reason we wouldn't use this red cup here is because if plastic can be melted down, I can shape it into a weapon. So when I started, these are the cups that every inmate got. And about 2 years after me working as a correctional deputy, I was told, hey, today we got to collect all these cups, we got to exchange them. I asked why we were exchanging these cups, and I was told that these cups were actually inhumane. Now, I could not understand how these cups could be inhumane, so I asked how so. They said that these cups did not have a handle, so it made it very difficult for inmates to hold their cup, especially with a hot beverage, for a prolonged amount of time. And because it didn't have any handles, the inmates could burn themselves with a hot drink. Now, I found this very strange because up to this point, no inmate had complained about the cups, no inmate had gotten burnt or anything like that. These are the cups that they were replaced with. They got these nice little handles. It looks like it could hold a little bit more weapon. But when these cups came in, everyone on the floors, every correctional deputy said, we're going to have problems because the material that these cups are made out of is very hard. As I started passing these cups out to the inmates and collecting them, one of the inmates grabbed the cup and hit himself in the head. Not hard, but just kind of testing to see what kind of material it was made out of, how dense the material was. And he said, man, you can really fuck someone up with these. That was as I was exchanging them the first day. Not 2 days went by when someone got clocked in the face with one of these cups, resulting in a broken orbital socket. What do you think happened next? Well, someone messed up, right? Someone didn't do the research. Someone that probably had little to no experience in corrections was assigned and was given the responsibility to change cups. And as a result, someone got hurt. So we had to adapt to change because that's what we do in law enforcement, right? We adapt. So we did some research and we found these cups here. These cups here still have a handle, but they're malleable. Kind of similar to the one that E.I The King had in his video. And this is more, I would think, something in line to what you would want in a correctional setting. Not that. Is that inmates are issued one cup and they like to use it as a coffee cup. But when you drink coffee, you get a lot of tar, a lot of built up, sometimes even like a syrup looking substance that ends up at the bottom of a cup. Kind of looks something like this. See that tar? There's no syrup on this one, but very old. And over time, it starts collecting the coffee flavor. So any other liquid that you put in here will end up tasting like coffee. So what inmates are allowed to do is they're allowed to purchase cups on commissary. This is a cup that they could purchase in commissary. It would usually look like this. Inmates will take this apart and make two cups. Now you have a coffee cup, you can have a water cup, and your milk cup. Now you have three different cups. The issue and the problem here is that most facilities have policies that when an inmate changes anything from its original form, it becomes contraband. So there's a few things here that we got to take into consideration. This cup, this homie here, Sandoval, this cup got taken away because he's not supposed to have it. Furthermore, he put tape around it to be able to conceal what's inside. So he could have anything inside. It doesn't have to be liquid. It could be a shank. I don't know what's inside. Stay tuned for more videos. This is just a spoon that was made into a shank. So now he's walking around holding his cup. I have no idea there's a shank in here. That's a safety concern. That's why these cups get confiscated. They also like to tag these cups. None of these cups here are tagged up, but they'll tag it. They'll put their hood. Weapons have been made. I've seen the handle here get removed and kind of get used as a brass knuckle type with pointy edges or sharp material. Same thing with these ones. These ones can get cut, broken down. I've seen it was kind of like a 2-finger shank where this handle was broken off and the edges here were sharpened. So as you can see, we're just talking about cups here, but there are a lot of concerns and a lot of things that we have to consider when issuing out cups. Back to what's being concealed inside the cups. In prison, they make hooch, they make pruno. It's an alcoholic beverage that is made out of fruit that they just allow to rot. How is wine made? By fermented fruit. They do the same thing. And they put it in these cups, and when it's concealed like that, I have no idea what they're drinking. Now, if they're drunk, and I go, hey, let me see the cup, what do you think is going to happen? So if you're drinking, you might get a little liquid courage. And I can say, hey, brother, what's in your cup? Come here. Let me see it. Oh, motherfucker, why don't you come in here and get it? That's going to be a response. Because alcohol changes your mental state. Alcohol has a history of getting people wound up and get them amped up and maybe push them a little bit more on the aggressive side. It is a very complex topic. Anything that we introduce into the system, we have to consider what it can be used for. Not only the officer safety or staff safety, but also the safety of the inmates. Hey, deputy, why are you making a video about cups? It's fucking stupid. Well, I'm trying to prove a point that corrections is very complicated. Corrections is not simple. We have been doing it for years and we have not gotten it right. And we have people in charge, not only leaders in law enforcement, but politicians, commissions, lawyers, many people that want their hands in the correction environment. And this environment needs to be sanitary. It has to be clean. Not anything can just go in there. Not anyone can just go in there. And for some reason, communities are not understanding this. Leadership is not understanding this. The media is not understanding this. I'm making this video with the intent of demonstrating the complexities of corrections. And by pointing out how broken the system is, not just the correctional system, but the justice system, the rehabilitation system. I hope this video made sense. I hope I was able to explain the complexities of just cups inside a correctional system.
Now, everybody in prison has coffee on deck. When I say the Woods love coffee, everybody loves coffee. You're going to see every vato walking around that yarda with the vaso. They're all having their mugs. Some of them are real nicely decorated. Some of them are just fucking thrown back, old school, chipped up. Vato has a fucking scar on his lip from drinking out of that same old mug, but you can't wrestle a convict for his mug. They're always going to have that same old school mug that's black inside. It's marination. It's been marinating in there, right? Clean your cup out, I used to tell my cellie. He used to be like, no, that gives it a different kick, right? I said, you ain't Willy Wonka, Holmes. That shit is not a chocolate factory. That's not chocolate in there. Oh, it is though, right? Whatever. So if you recall a song called Northside Soldier that Gold Toast produced on the 17 Reasons album, he's even talking about walking around Pelican Bay Yard, you know, drinking coffee with the OGs, getting clecha from the OGs, right? Twisting up a rollie with his mug of coffee, getting clecha from the OGs. Everybody respects it because they're the ones that fought that good fight before you ever knew what a fight was.